Kazakhstan offers a myriad of reasons to visit, from its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage. However, this country, famous for its beautiful women, also harbors some dark aspects that might make you think twice before planning a trip there. One of the most intriguing customs of the Kazakh nomads is a unique tradition called Kiz-Ku, also known as Kiz-Kumai. This traditional sport blends romance with horseback riding. In Kiz-Ku, which translates to chasing girls in Kyrgyz, there are some distinctive rules. If a man wins the horse race, he earns the chance to kiss the woman he raced against. On the other hand, if the woman catches up to the man, she gets to whip him. The woman's whip symbolizes her victory in this traditional horse race. The ultimate goal of this game is often to find a life partner. Kiz-Ku is deeply rooted in the nomadic lifestyle of the Kazakh people, who have historically relied on horses for various daily activities from hunting to traveling. On a more somber note, Kazakhstan's history is marred by the legacy of Soviet nuclear testing. The country and its people have been profoundly affected by the aftermath of these tests. Although the nuclear test site was shut down 70 years ago, the consequences are still felt today. Kazakhstan was the primary site for Soviet nuclear tests, with around 468 tests conducted in Semipalatinsk, now known as the Abay region, between 1949 and 1989. These tests resulted in severe radioactive contamination, affecting an area of about 18,300 square kilometers. The environmental and health impacts have been devastating, with the fallout continuing to affect the local population even decades later. One controversial issue is the ban on wearing hijabs in schools for both students and teachers. The government cites various reasons for this policy, with the most prominent being the country's commitment to secularism. Kazakhstan firmly separates religion from state affairs and sees the hijab ban as a reinforcement of this principle. Despite the fact that approximately 70% of Kazakhstan's population is Muslim, the government does not permit hijabs in school settings. This strict stance underscores Kazakhstan's dedication to maintaining a secular state, where religious symbols are kept out of public institutions. However, many argue that this ban infringes on personal freedoms and is excessively harsh. The prohibition has sparked significant dissent among parents and students. In Atarau, at least 150 girls have dropped out of school due to this rule. The situation in Turkestan was even more severe, where two men reportedly assaulted a school principal for refusing to allow girls to wear hijabs to school. Another concern is Kazakhstan's relatively high crime rate. Almaty, the country's largest city, is known for its high levels of criminal activity, with a crime index of 65.24 that continues to rise each year. Common crimes in Almaty include pickpocketing, robbery, vehicle break-ins, assault, harassment, drug-related offenses, and corruption. Tourist hotspots are particularly vulnerable to theft, so it's crucial to keep personal belongings, including passports and travel documents, secure at all times. Walking alone at night in Kazakhstan is not advisable due to safety concerns. To minimize risks, avoid wearing flashy jewelry or carrying large amounts of cash. Be cautious if approached by strangers asking for help, and never leave valuables or accept offers to watch them from strangers. In addition to safeguarding personal items, it's important to be vigilant about food and drinks. Never leave them unattended or accept consumables from people you don't know well, as Kazakhstan has issues with drug-related crimes that can lead to serious incidents, including sexual assault. When using public transportation, especially taxis, ensure they are official by checking for proper signage and seatbelts. Unofficial taxis might take on additional passengers, posing significant safety risks. One startling fact about Kazakhstan is its status as a transit country for drug trafficking. This has led to a rise in both the production and local consumption of synthetic drugs, particularly in urban areas. the illegal drug trade and usage are significant contributors to street violence and crime. Even more alarming is the threat of terrorism in the country. Despite government efforts to enhance security, the risk of terrorist attacks remains a constant concern. The unpredictability of these threats means that they can occur at any time, adding a layer of caution for both residents and visitors. Cybercrime is another prevalent issue in Kazakhstan, with common incidents involving online extortion and identity theft. One frequent scam involves convincing victims to transfer money to strangers, only for the scammer to disappear once the transaction is complete. Cybercriminals often exploit public Wi-Fi networks to steal personal data or credit information. They can also monitor social media activities and eavesdrop on phone conversations. Travelers are advised to use secure connections and be cautious about sharing personal information online. Kazakhstan boasts a rich cultural heritage with customs that guests should respect, especially when visiting local homes. If you find yourself invited into a Kazakh home, here are some key points to keep in mind. First, there's the seating etiquette. When you're visiting a yurt or a traditional home, never sit on the bed. Instead, guests should sit cross-legged on a mat. Stretching your legs out is considered disrespectful, so remember to keep them tucked in. Next is movement etiquette. If you need to stand up and move around, always walk behind people rather than in front of them. This small gesture shows respect and awareness of your surroundings. Then there's kitchen etiquette. Avoid entering the kitchen or food preparation area while meals are being made. This space is typically off-limits to guests, as it's considered a private area for the hosts. By adhering to these customs, visitors can show respect for Kazakh traditions and ensure a more harmonious interaction with their hosts. Embracing these simple yet meaningful practices will enrich your experience and create a deeper connection with the people you meet. In Kazakhstan, some people still lead a nomadic lifestyle, residing in traditional yurts or small tents. Entering these dwellings comes with its own set of customs and taboos. Let's go over some things to keep in mind. First off, there's no knocking. Knocking on the door of a yurt is considered impolite. Instead, you should wait to be invited in. Next, avoid the threshold. Stepping on the threshold of a yurt is like disrespecting the owner, as it symbolizes stepping on their neck. When it comes to opening the door flap, remember the right-hand rule. Use your right hand from the right side. Doing otherwise is believed to invite bad luck. Mind your head as you enter. The doorways are typically low, so taller individuals should take extra care. Once inside, follow the seating protocol. Move to the left and sit on the ground, bench, or bed. There are a few things to avoid: touching the central support pole, whistling, taking food with your left hand, throwing trash into the fire, walking in front of elders, facing away from the altar, or touching anyone's hat. These actions are considered disrespectful and may bring bad luck. Also, refrain from rolling up your sleeves inside the yurt, as it implies a readiness for conflict. If you have short sleeves, try not to expose your wrists. While handshakes are commonly seen as a sign of respect in many cultures, they're not typically practiced in Kazakhstan. This is partly due to cultural taboos and the predominance of Islam in the country. It's especially frowned upon for men to shake hands with women. Even among men, hugs are preferred, but only if there is a close acquaintance or friendship.